Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom of Bulgaria. It is February 1365. We did play 3 years off camera where not much happened, right? And that's why I deleted that episode. I'll do a quick run through of what did happen. But I'm addicted to the game, 100%. I am 100% addicted to this game. There is zero doubt about that in my mind. And we still do have King Ivan Alexander the False Stretsimir, who is 64. We do have Duke Michael, who now has Ivan Alexander Stratsimir, right? Has the 5 children. We have another grandson, David, who came of age and can use an education. We do have just 12.68 ducats because we are building a road here from Viden to this place, this Sevruj, which will connect them to this, which will then connect right into the road network, because that has been something I've been trying to do, probably obsessively, right, is to create a road network through Bulgaria. We did get roads built to Targovisti and Shubin, and we did get Tetracad and Drastar also built. So we briefly went in debt for some reason building this road, even though it said we had enough ducats, and then we had to pay back the loan, so that's also why we don't have money. We do have a new alliance with Muscovy, trying to curry favors with Hungary and Muscovy in case we get attacked. There is a typhus outbreak in the country, and we also got Vardar out here to be integrated. We are trying to integrate Toplika at 36.7% and Ishmael at 12.29%. This is expected to be done in 1396, definitely not this episode. This is expected to be done in 1371, probably not this episode at 2 times speed either. But then it's just the lands from Wallachia that we will not have integrated into Greater Bulgaria. Tanneries are unprofitable again. We're making 10.818 ducats. Ishmael is still missing some burgers. I believe we did build also another fruit expansion here at Drastar. You can see we are still missing 761 employees for that. Well, actually, we're just missing the employees for the granary, as we try to improve the fruit quota here in Bulgaria. We do have 284 potential men. Oh, okay. King Michael Asid Stratsimir with the now ruler of glorious nation, or country, sorry. That was a little bit surprising. I was not expecting that. His Majesty's good leadership and skills and superior tactical knowledge will help us vanquish those that dare stand against us. 42 administratively, 39 diplomatically, 86 militarily. Our country is mourning over the loss of our king, Ivan Alexander the False, who died at the age of 64. Does it say why he died? He died, obviously. The undiscovered country from whose board no traveler returns. I mean, that makes sense. He died today at 64. He was ruthless, craven, loose-lipped, and intolerant. So King Michael Asid. So historically, Ivan Alexander divided Bulgaria between two of his sons, and that divided the country. He died naturally of old age. His cowardly conduct on the battlefield shall forever be his legacy. Ouch. But which we have obviously avoided doing, right? Bulgaria is not divided. Remaining time for getting the final trade, 25 years, 10 years. Currently, he is a defensive planner and tolerant, much like his father was. All right, well, that was unexpected. We do have an underage heir. Heir can have the better education. We don't have anywhere close to the money for this. It would cost 250 ducats to give him an expensive education. Unmarried children. Children could have better educations. Iva Stratsimir. Well, we already talked about him. He is balanced. He has a rowdy. So he will go for a military education. So it sounds like he'll be a little bit like his father. Iva is my daughter. She is gregarious. Diplomatic ability will increase. So we'll go for diplomatic education. The lifeblood of our nation is deal-making and informed diplomatic maneuvers. Thus, we must instill the same values to our royal offsprings if we are to maintain our diplomatic edge over our foes. Makes sense. We also have unmarried children. Yolanda Stratsimir, who is 16. 52, 35, and 51. King Luigi Angio of Albania. We will get 5.73 prestige. They gain 4.17. So she's now the Queen Consort of Albania. I think the ruler of Wallachia is another daughter. Yep. Anna, who, ironically, my character now, or our character now, Michael Austin, was deposed in favor of his daughter. So, I mean, that's interesting. If we invite to the Atacephalus Patriarchy or Patriarch of Tarnovo, being self-headed, Atacephalus Patriarchy is a metropolitan bishop of the Eastern Christian confessions to which acts independently and does not subordinate or answer to any other hierarchically superior church authority. The different patriarchies have then their own synods of bishops to decide anything affecting their own religious jurisdiction. You can see, okay, that's kind of cool. Religious laws, saints, holy sites, and we have 11 members currently. So we did get the road built to Sevluj. And so now the question is, all right, story mode, I was saying, Volhynia's army there, that the road projects were kind of like the obsession of the king, right? Well, now the king is dead, which sounds crass, but it's true. 7,800 levies now. We are up to 897,000 pops. If anything, the proximity of Plovdiv is getting worse, despite the bridge. Wallachia still could try to get an international organization against me. The church doesn't like me. The peasants don't like me, but the burghers and the nobility do. We are missing lead. What would it cost to build a market? In Chernobyl. 189.53. That's a lot of ducats. Historically, Ivan Alexander the False ruled until 1371. So it's a little bit different, right? That he did die here. Let's take a look at just scandal at the court. A scandal has erupted at the royal court. It seems that salacious rumors have been spreading regarding the promiscuous of Yolanda Stratzimir, with the result that the Stratzimir family has become the laughingstock of the Bulgarian nobility. This is making it difficult to get anything done. We will lose 10 prestige. That's unfortunate. What are we missing in the marketplace? Dyes, ivory, rice, and still 6.66 fruit. That's a bad number, obviously. We are missing a lot of employment there for the fruit, so hopefully that'll go down a little bit, which is again, a lot of people missing a lot of things. And that is where the building of the market probably is a good idea. Right? Because we can't build a road that would cost 136. That costs 214. To build a road from Varna, 234. So the Bulgarian slave uprising is no longer changing. So I don't think is a good thing. So fruit, because we're missing fruit, they're joining rebels. Wow. We don't have any free trade capacity. I mean, there's a chance, right, that we'll create a market and it'll just blow up in our face and it'll suck, right? So it's fine cloth continues to not make enough money. Now, what does a temple max control plus 5%? It has to be in a city, right? The bridge has done nothing. It costs 154 ducats to build a bailiff. That is just wow. Wow. I mean, like we are trying to integrate these provinces so we don't have people who can go and increase the control, because the control does suck, right? I mean, it's okay through here, but then it gets really bad. Sorry for that burp. I keep trying to think to myself, what to do, because $122. $136. Man, I am really buffaloed right now. Economic buildings obviously would help, but I don't want to build those just yet because without knowing what the marketplace is, they might become very unprofitable, or they could become more profitable. Right there's the positive opportunity, but I'm not sure about that. If we go near to people, characters, I have a lot of characters now. Bogdan is 11. So I looked at this when our original king was on the throne, and there weren't nearly these many characters. There's David, who's 4. There's Irene, who is 38. Because she's a Paleologos, in some ways, declaring war on the Byzantine Empire would make sense. The problem with that is I believe they have a lot of good allies. He's already married. He has no children, but he is married. So yeah, I'm at a loss. And I can continue building the roads, but I don't know that those are having much effect. So Theodore Stratzimir, oh, we'll give her an administrative education because we don't know. That is my niece. We are making 10 ducats. We do have 6 rebellions, potentially. By far, the commoners are the dangerous ones. So we are going to try to crack down on them. Which obviously is going to slow down Ismail's integration. We are up to 900,000 pops. So that part is good. I feel like building the market is... Because the problem is in Plovdiv, we're making... Okay, 0.31 out of 1.3. Okay. I mean, we're really not losing that much, I guess, but... Although in Stolcha, like... We have -10 proximity, right? So we do have 15,600 people living in Tarnovo. We can't afford any of the noble buildings. We could build a scriptorium, although we are also short on dies, so there's that. Oh yes, we could embrace professional armies for 7 to 8 ducats and 54.8 stability, which would mean we have -30 stability. That seems terrible. Dies. We have a plus 0.15 balance. So it's a profit of 2 per level. I mean, the Georgian independence movement. One 139, 139, 140. So just again, in theory, now you could say, why would we want to build a? We have better control up here than we do in our core territories. That is kind of, or proximity. We control. Okay, so it's a little bit better, but it's not very good. So we have 1/4 of the tax base, which is all obviously trash. Does Pleven even grow horses? Plus 0.26 per level. Well, dyes I know we'll need for a lot of things. And right now we're at -2.1. For as long as textiles have been woven, there's been a market for fine dyes. During the late Middle Ages, expensive dyes such as indigo would be worth a fortune due to how distant the source in India was. As the world opened up, dyes became easier to get hold of, though both through the possibilities to produce them in America and the greater accessibility of the Indian market. Nonetheless, dyes remained rare, and in the early 19th century, as the dye plantations in India fell into European hands, a veritable gold rush ensued. So, like, that is the big thing about the right. Shit. Sorry. Um So we did not get all the money back, but I just thought about that, right? Because if we're going to do a market, then in theory, right, we don't know what we will need. I do think that's going to be our build. I think that's the play to build the market. I do think that has to be the play. Oh, the money has stayed exactly the same, 9.95. Interesting. At least early on in November of 1365. So we are 43 years old. We kind of look a little worse for the wear. Crown Prince Ivan Alexander is 8. And he looks a little sickly. Technology-wise, we are studying burger literature, max literacy for the burgers plus 10%. Building the road to Biden, right, we have 25% control, 46% proximity at road. Movement costs, negative 25%, market access, negative 10%, proximity costs, negative 20. Which, that makes this amazing. So Bure is killing us. Wait. Wouldn't that be a positive? I guess not. That doesn't make sense. 32% proximity, which is actually. But why does that get counted as a negative? Todor Stratzimir has reached the age of 16. 56, 32, and 35. He's not closely enough related to the ruler for us to do a royal marriage. Kaffa is starving. And again, that's where the market comes in, right? Because I don't. Overall, we are producing 1,184 food. Again, short fruit. But are we really short fruit? Mongolian Patriots, there's 142. The Moldovan Patriots, there's 400. 243 rebels, the nobility, and 7,000 of the Nogai. So that one's a little bit more legitimate. But we should be able to handle them. A forest village, okay. Well, that's something we could maybe look into, right? Like, a market village plus 0.09. Food capacity, trade advantage, trade capacity, and market access goes up. What is their current? Well, but again, though, we want Tarnovo to be the market. So although I do hate the fact that I'm not going to probably get all the roads built before building the market. Like, that does bug me. Man, we are trying because we have a lot of this. We have four. We have a balance of 9.3, and we're trying to get rid of it, but it is just we cannot make any money by setting it to pest. Now, improving our trade range, might be one option, right? To allow us to potentially trade better. That's fair. So sometimes that happens. I'm guessing it's because we purchased food. I'm not entirely sure. Urbanization, while only a small portion of our population lives in the cities, the growing prosperity of the burgers is attracting an increasing number of people from the countryside. Some cities are growing so quickly that existing problems in terms of sanitation and overcrowding has gone from troubling to catastrophic, according to the burgers. The poor have taken up residence outside the city walls, where filthy suburbs of sprung up and disease thrives. The burgers find the situation intolerable and are now requesting that the state step in to provide help, both in terms of resources and the enforcement of the rules outside of the walls. They claim the only government intervention can turn this virulent urbanization into a positive change. We must attempt to improve conditions. We'll lose 3.17 ducats. Burgers gain 10% of state satisfaction. Currently, they are at 62% happiness and will gain 0.5 development. Let's look at that. So the development. Those are markets, population, cultures, religions, diplomacy, tactical, right? We're losing food here. Negative 11.27, negative 4.6, negative 12, and negative 13. Surprised Poland. Why? Well, then again, Krakow, I know, is losing food here, right? So that, never mind. Wow, Wallachia is negative 36.2. That's insane. Okay. Prosperity, we're fairly prosperous. The Golden Horde, not so much. Okay. So that's good. Development. In Tarnovo was 21. Average literacy of the burgers is 4.5%. Has road 25%. Hills topography negative 25%. Vegetation plus 10. Interesting. Well, what does that give me though? Like I understand what it has, but what does it? Okay, RGO size goes up, supportability, building cost, migration attraction, population capacity, food production, institution growth, market attraction, character life expectancy, construction speed. Okay, okay. I was just curious. I mean, we have enough diplomats. Like that's not really an issue. Um, oh, that's right. We canceled the building of the dies. I was gonna say the dies got built, but no, wait, we canceled that building. But a month left here on the road to Biden. 3.3% of the commoners, insurgents. They are the only group that we really care about because they are a lot of them. Right. There's 125 commoners who could rise up. Nobody else really matters. Don't tell them I said that. Right. But the reality is nobody else really matters that much. I mean that's just the reality. We did research burger literature. Burgers are relying on their skills and abilities to prosper, which in turn depend on having a good literacy education to their betters. Their increasing wealth as the economy progresses also makes for an increased demand on any literature that widens their written culture. So this road is almost done. I am working on painting an office that I'm debating about once the office is painted, showing my face. Right. I don't. I'm not exactly a handsome man, but I'm not a troll or anything like that. But it might be nice, right? I know I have a small channel and all that, but maybe it helps people, right? Seeing a face, knowing who's talking to them. It'll probably take me maybe up until about the new year to get it done. I do have some ideas to how to redecorate my house and make it a little bit more my own. Right. So I was thinking to myself, like, if I maybe even like bring more people into Turnovo, now that would obviously increase the amount of food we're losing. Right. Right. However, hear me out. It's my capital, and we have 15,500 people. Plovdiv, 35,658. Now you don't have to have your capital as the most populous city. That's fair. It's just that's a big difference, right? That is a big difference. I would like to. A market at Plovdiv would be 213. Tarnovo 188. God dang it. Why is everything like 150 and above? Okay, not everything. Our little economic buildings, right? The farms and whatever, the RGOs. That's not. But the rest of it always seems to be like 150, 200 and something, which I get, right? But when you're only making 10 a month, like that does limit you in what is this? Oh, a rival war? Serbian Epirus. Really? Serbia? Who are you allied with? Byzantine. Oh God. Wallachia. Epirus, who are you all at war? You're only at war with Serbia. Problem is, if I join, they probably will. Other people will join against me. Now I'm a military guy, right? Michael's a military dude, right? When is his birthday? Yeah, September 17th. Okay. Who is the ruler of Serbia? Still this dude with his 100 military score. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't want Serbia to grow much stronger. I know that. But I also know this is risky. So, because if all their allies join in, they could overwhelm me. Because Epirus probably doesn't have anybody. They have 1,400 men. Serbia, we think, has 3,200. Excellent minister. It is clear to us that Konstantinos Filinos has proven to be an excellent appointment to our cabinet, doing valuable work for the kingdom. We are lucky to have such a fine minister in our employ. Reap the benefits, we can gain 10 prestige, or just he'll become an excellent minister for 5 years. Really doesn't seem to be doing anything differently. Still negative 0.33% for the rebels. So their nobles are building a scriptorium. I don't think my nobles here in Bulgaria built anything. In Poland, they used to do that a decent amount, to be honest. Um, yeah, still 5 years away on Toplica. Right. Again, it's not going to give us a lot, but it's going to help us out. The one other thing that you did miss in the previous episode is we got through the Synclet an approval for integration. So all of these places are now like 20% integrated. Well, and I guess the other thing with the market is, will the market take up all of Bulgaria? Or are we big enough now that we'll still be in other markets? It's an interesting question. If I create a market, Does it serve my whole country? So it doesn't automatically cover your entire country. Instead, it serves a specific region based on market attraction protection. Okay, so based on that, I don't know that it would make sense to build a new market. I mean, it might, but then again, it might not. Um, because see, the problem is if I build the market and it doesn't work the way I want it to, it's going to take forever to rebuild it. Halachi in exile, Mikita Gilitzin, a political exile from the Grand Principality of Halych, has appeared at a court. He's offered his services to the Bulgarian monarch in return for protection from the Halachian Grand Prince. Should we take him in? Yes. Well, it's any good. 69, 65, and 51. Okay. Can we? So Galitzin is 3080. Is that buried? Does that belong to the dynasty? Is that closely enough related to the ruler? Interesting. So I can't bury him off. So now I'm debating whether or not it would make sense to build like a sergeant tree. I know the AI always builds one in Turnovo at the start of the game. So I guess I'm thinking I might still. Halachi in Exiles, Makita Golitzin is thankful for being granted asylum in the Bulgarian court. However, he's recently drawn attention to the fact that there are many other Halachian notables in his position. Men of great wisdom and influence, he insists if it could be useful to allow them to join our court, should we use this temporary opposition to Halachian ambitions? 100 Halachian pops will migrate each month from Port Shusha to Tarnovo for the next 5 years. Yes. Right. Whoa, did we lose money? Down to 8.86 for what? Wow. That was a lot of money lost. Yeah, that'll take us a little bit longer to get to the money needed to build the market then. Why? I wonder why that happened. I do think we will still build the market. I kept going back and forth there. Sorry, but and then I think we will try to see out. Depending upon how long it's going to take to build the market, because I've never done that before. And this will actually be a good test case, right? This will be actually a good test case for me to see how do you build out a market, how much space or how much of the country falls into it. What God, we lost a lot of money again. Oh, I mean, I know we usually you do a lot of the times at the beginning of a month, but still, yeah, they really are just not wanting that much fine cloth. Okay, so we now have one trade capacity. Fruit, we would lose, but we are going to try to import it, which we lose money for, but it should also help our people in terms of the amount of fruit we have in the country. In theory, right? At 8.82, or even at 9.38, that's 188. Okay, 188, we could build one. I might wait until October though, because last time we built one when we were gonna have like 5 ducats left over, they made us go in debt, and then we had to take out a loan, then we had to pay the interest on the loan. Sometimes I feel like the music player either runs out of music or just stops. Maybe I'm incorrect on that. I guess if we were able to successfully marry off, it's unprofitable again. Damn. Like, we only have 0.4 trade capacity, but that is just amazing that pests must have enough fine cloth, I guess, but Because we have 8.51 as a bonus, right? I always forget how to do this. We do still need 0.59 fruit and 0.005 pearls. There we go. So we wanted to try to export our fine cloth, right? Because we got 8.12 of that. Sarai is none, and we can get 0.11 ducats. Doesn't give us a lot, but we will do that. As we're up to 8.97 or 1.97, 8.75 a month. And now that we do have the makings of a reasonable road network, right? I mean, it's not a great one, but it's a reasonable one. We are going to create a market. Sure, that so it actually costs me 155. 50,000 people. No, I think we're going to build it in Turnovo, right? It'll take 92 days. Our truces with Holland and Wallachia will end in 1369. So who else was Serbia aligned to? Okay, so Serbia is only allied to those two. Serbia's got 558,000 people. How many people does Epirus have, just out of curiosity? 113,000. Unfortunately, Thessaly is at war. The first Thessalonica. The Byzantine Empire. The Duchy of Thessaly. will cost 2.84 diplomatic capacity for Thessaly, 0.69 for us. They will spread 50% embraced institutions to each other. Okay. What I will do, if Thessaly calls me in to defend them against the Byzantine Empire, we don't have a casus belli against them. So we will build a spy network. Since apparently Thessaly is not going to call us in. So we're not going to be able to get to Thessaly in time. And I am curious though, like what is going to happen with this? Like the fruit needs have gone down, which is good. I mean, we could 100% crush the Byzantines. And what I really want to do is take Adrianopolis. Like, I don't know that I really want to take Constantinople. Go to provinces, right? That's part of Lower Macedonia. Like, Perrin, right? So we do have a couple here, Armenio and Ustra, which are part of Rhodope. Sliven, right? Bukalon. So at least those three provinces, 10, 17, 23,000 people. I mean, so yeah, like we're not going to get rich by doing that. And unfortunately, Thessaly is about to die. So us forming an alliance with them is really not going to matter. We have 10 favors with the Hungarians. We don't really need that many. So I am very, very curious what is going to happen here. The nobility is still rising up, even though they're 52% happy. That's interesting. And we'll see what this does to our economy, what it does to like our goods and how much we have of what and all of that. I mean, it could get wild. It could be amazing or it could get very wild. Wallachia is still looking to target us in an international organization. Roughly a week away now. I'm creating the market in Tarnovo. So again, this could blow up in my face. Or it could be the best decision, one of the better decisions I've made. I just don't know. 56% Toblika and their integration. Oh, right. Okay, I mean, we could do control, but stabilize the country, strengthen the government, religious influence. Let's go back to integration. All right, I was South Oletania, which is at 21.7%. Our merchants are excited with the possibilities of a new market in Tarnovo, cutting into the market of the Constantinopolis market. Uh, okay, sorry. I was looking at it. I was just like, wait, what? So most of our country is now, I think, right in the Tarnovo market. Um, we have no trade capacity. So this is kind of cool. Again, Thessaly, unfortunately, is all occupied. That part's not so cool. Okay, so we're up to 15.35 ducats. We don't have coal. We have no profitable buildings. We're making a lot more money. Why are all these buildings unprofitable? Oh, fiber crops. Yep. Okay. So we can look here. We're gonna pause. We don't have enough fiber crops. We also don't have enough legumes. We have a lot of livestock, decent amount of lumber. Wait, how do we simultaneously not have enough legumes, but we have legumes? Olives, sorry. They kind of look like the same thing to me. It's just like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Okay. So we know why. We have enough livestock, so I don't understand that one. I don't understand why the tanneries. The Papers Makers Guild, I understand. Wait, where are we on leather? Yeah, the turnover market. Leather plus 7.89. Good. Okay. So paper maker, we're actually going to shift from making it with the fiber crops, right? To using leather. You know, I don't know exactly. I guess for the book cover, right? We'll say that. Okay. Weaponsmith, probably because we don't have coal, right? I would imagine. The Glass Guild. Oh, okay. Yeah, a bunch of weaponsmiths, and then the tanneries. The weaponsmith. No? Okay, just losing money. Okay. So that is actually really cool. We are making 15.35 now. 17.88. I like that. Trying to integrate a couple provinces. We're not part of that Market it. Well, I guess those the pull is. Okay. As are these places. Okay. We're mostly in command of our market. So now to do dies, which, yeah, okay, 6. Profit per level still crazy high, though. Interesting. Papermakers Guild. We have plus 12 paper. Do we have books? We currently don't have any books. Plus 0.46, so it costs 34.72 for a scriptorum. You know what I'm gonna do? Since we have money now, $33.5. Yep. We've got our first professional soldiers. Maybe I was a little too excited by that. Oh, right. I need to do a little bit of typing here on my phone. All right. I was trying to figure out how to spell. Uh, and maybe even say a little bit the because we're going to we have a little royal army now, which is obviously going to cut into our income, right? It is going to cut into our income. So I'm wondering, now that we're in the market, can we mint? Okay, not much. But we can't get up to 19.93. This is cool. Like, we have our own market, we have a new king, we're going to create our own tiny little army. So, apologies if this is incorrect, but Zarsky? Ah, what's going on? So Thessaly does want to call me in now. Really? Once you guys are completely occupied, you guys would have called me in. Okay. So based on what Google told me here, which, is always tricky, right? All right. Tsarska Armia, the Royal Army. I have one too many Ks. There. There's. And that's SKA, not KSA. I got that backwards. Okay. There. The Tsarska Armia. Wait. Oh, crap. Time kept running. I was actually going to go help you, Thessaly, but. Our ruler's nephew is the next best guy. Because, I mean, I could make the king the commander. My son is almost 10. I could try to create a general, but I don't really want to do that. Or I'll just leave them without an army for right now. Or without a leader for right now. Right, but merchant fractures. A dispute is broken out between several extremely wealthy and therefore influential merchants over Bulgarian trade policy. One group favors taking a mercantilist approach, calling for a kingdom to ensure that the wealth generated by trade within Bulgaria goes mainly to Bulgarian traders and producers. The other faction dismisses this protectionist approach as old-fashioned and in favor of free trade, which they claim would liberate them to seek profits around the world. Naturally, both sides consider the other to be highly unreasonable at best and dangerous in their misguided beliefs at worst. We can lose 29.57 and support the mercantilist. Free trade is the future. We can gain 5 legitimacy, lose 5 prestige. Or we could just gain 5 prestige and they could lose 5. I don't want to lose the money. Free trade. What the? Why are the distillers losing so much money? What the hell are you guys? You're using wine, pottery, and glass. Okay. Wine we're even on. Dyes we don't have enough of again. And pottery, well, clay we have a lot of. Well, not that much, but we do have 6.47. And pottery. Nothing. Damn. Again, all of these buildings. Oh, what the fuck? Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to turn off the market automation. What is this? Rice? Okay. We will import rice. Olives. We need 2.34. All right, so we import olives. Dyes, we have no extra, but they still want us to export it. Oh, wait. Or is that in their market? Yeah, we have plus 0.41. To Dubrovnik? Fine. We have 8.24 salt, and we have 9.01 liquors. I will export salt. Well, we really don't have 4.51 dye anymore. So we'll wait a little bit. We're still going to have extra trade capacity. But I want to make sure that the new month has kicked over, right? So hopefully the goods will more accurately represent that. At 61.67, we are up to 4 on the spy network of the Byzantine Empire, who has almost 4,000 men. We've got 8,000 levies and 100 regulars. In the Royal Army of Bulgaria. Might need to do something to figure out how to get the priests happier. South Oltenia, we think will be done 1397, 30 years away. Or 3 years here. I think we'll go to Ismail then. Well, I don't know. Maybe this place. Professional armies, 86 ducats, 41.5 stability. Still too much stability. That's still too much stability to use. All right, let's go back to our trades now. Right. We can send one. With one trade capacity, we can ship 1.17 dye. We do have a lot of legumes, but we'll do that. We can send more salt to Tbilisi. So we are exporting a lot of dye. God dang, we have a lot of livestock. Don't actually have. Oh, that's masonry. Okay. Yeah, we have no books. Where are we on the paper again? Oh, now we don't have enough dye. Okay. Well, that tells me what I need to do. That's 33.5. Yeah. We will build more dyes. And Tarnovo. And then what would it cost us to build a cavalry regular regiment? Maintenance plus 0.75, that's a lot. 0.75 no matter what. Okay. Thank you everybody for watching. We have a new market. We have a professional army. We're building a spy network. We have a new king. Serbia is gross. In terms of our diplomacy, using 2.06 out of 610. Theodoro, we could take Croatia. We could take. Wait, aren't you a vassal of Hungary? Yeah. Oh, no, Naples has declared them as a rival. King Anju Istvan. Or Istvan. Okay. But you're not? Interesting. That's very interesting to me. Yeah, we still have 3.53 market. Dyes. Yeah, we need dyes, I know that. So we're setting dyes 1.03, 2.35 to Dubrovnik. We're exporting liquor. We're importing olives. We're importing rice, and we are exporting salt. All right. We have a lot of livestock. Nobody that would make money from it. $2.11 fine cloth. And we would send almost all of it to Sarai. Okay. We will also build a spy network against the Serbians. Well, now that we're making so much money a month, our ability to build sergeantries, or not sergeantries, bailiffs, is going to increase. Dude, we're literally exporting liquor to increase the price, but all right. All of our pops are getting angrier, unfortunately. We'll have to do something about that. Our son is now 10, Crown Prince Ivan Alexander. Our father was Ivan Alexander as well, so this will technically be Ivan Alexander II. He's a 23, 25, and a 37. He's rowdy, so he has a military education. But that is where we will end today's episode. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you all later.